Hello guys. It's me, Carrie from Carrie Tries It, and in this video, I'm gonna watch with you Visit America, the don't, the don'ts of visiting in the United States. And this video about what you should know before you will go to America. I think so. What you don't have to do, don'ts of visiting America. Like maybe crush some stereotypes. Let's see.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Mystic, Connecticut, in a beautiful place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S. in general, okay? And our first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like their personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very uncomfortable, okay? So make sure you give them a little...
I met here a girl. She's from Brazil, and she was so close to me, like very close, like her face almost here. I saw her first time in my life. I'm not friends of her. I'm not friend of her. I'm like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable. I just tried to push myself back, and she's always like close, and I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. I never knew about America.
Distance when you are there, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, we're like, Mark, how's it going, all this stuff, and my American friends sometimes go, wow, they're really affectionate, like that's just how it is. Here, space is key. The second don't I have for you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China and we were in throughout Europe and South America, we took buses and trains and planes and all kinds of stuff to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places. Yes, in big cities like New York and Chicago and stuff like that, you can get around with public transport and it'll take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, in middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very good. And at night, sometimes it's not very safe. So that is kind of a...
Yeah, it's true. When I just moved to America, when I've been here like tourist, oh my gosh, I took a very expensive car and I'm like, I enjoyed this life 3 years ago, but right now I'm driving very cheap car, but I love this car. And yeah, when I've been in America 10 months ago, like first month here, I didn't have car and I should go somewhere. I took train. It was bad. I said there are a lot of people who use drugs in the subway station. It was very unsafe. I felt headache because of air there. A lot of homeless people. It's like home of homeless people. And it's very unsafe. And I heard story like one homeless guy attacked girl. She's from Ukraine. She told me this story. He attacked her at bus with knife. It's crazy. People just use drugs. Homeless people use drugs. They have money for drugs. They use drugs and they're just very crazy. And yeah, it's really true that like I tried to take bus here and it's not on time. And it was like 2 hours. I came from Venice to Chinatown. 2 hours, maybe more. It's like half a day. No, it's too bad. Don't try it here in Los Angeles. No.
Frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay?
Yes.
So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next don't I have for you is don't underestimate the size of the U.S. The United States, it's, you know, continental U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge. I mean, would you think of driving from, oh, I'm going to do, you know, from Lisbon to Paris and then go up to Tallinn and then head down to Sofia? No, you're like, that is insanely far. It's the same thing when you come to the U.S. I meet a lot of travelers that are like, oh, I'm going to fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see Miami Beach, and then head over to L.A. I'm like, dude, you got 2 weeks? You're going to spend the entire time in cars. The distances here are insane.
Yes.
So what I recommend is
Yes, it's true. In Europe, you can take car and just go wherever you want. In different countries, you can go from Italy to France to Spain to Austria, Austria, and to a lot of different countries and cities. And here, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I've never done like road travel here, but I had friends who came from Russia, like tourists here 2 years, 3 years ago, and they really been in their car like 2 weeks. They saw a lot of different places there, but they were so exhausted because of driving. Distance here is incredible.
Picking a region, so we're going to stay here in New England and see New England, or we're going to go in the southeast,
I
or
want
go
to
to
go to
Atlanta and
England.
Savannah and Charleston, things like that, or visit the West Coast. You do that to get a better idea of the culture there and things like that, but also it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have lunch with my mom, and then drive back home just for lunch. 6 hours in the car. No big deal. It's about 7 hours when we start to think, that kind of is a long drive. And we drive the entire way through. Okay, this isn't like, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. Oh, no, no, no.
Like
No, no,
this
no.
guy.
We drive all the way through, okay? Now, my next don't for you when you come here is don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the US, we have sales tax. I know other countries, they have VAT, value added taxes. They're already put into the price of products. So when you see, it's $1 or €1, I only pay €1. In the US, it is not like
Yeah,
that.
it's true.
We have
I told you
sales
that
tax, so
other
a certain percentage is
video.
added onto that product. And the thing is, I
Exactly.
cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere.
Yes.
Cities, states, counties, different
Incredible.
products have different sales taxes, and some products don't have sales taxes. Some cities don't have sales taxes. Some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're gonna go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever, it's not gonna be $1. Where I live, there's 2 cities right by where I live. One, it's gonna be $1.08. The other one, it's gonna be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into the 5th don't, and that is don't forget to tip. Look, in the US, you tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay? Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no, you don't tip at a fast food place, but if it's a sit-down restaurant where they bring you your food and stuff like that, you will tip them 15 to 20%. If you are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there,
yeah.
which sometimes can be 18% or something like
So
that.
bad.
Look, when you come to the US, there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the US. It's because there's kind of this understanding that the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitresses and stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So the food and stuff can be cheaper when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say, I don't believe in tipping and this tipping isn't the right thing. They should pay their people more. Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that. But they don't, okay? So tipping is something we do here in the US, so do tip that 15 to 20%. Oh, also, if you're at a bar and you're buying drinks, you're gonna wanna tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next drink. So following off of those tips,
Pay
what you need to
tips.
realize is our next don't is don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the US. Look, because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that, yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing is, in the US, the people actually are pretty nice and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, if they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service sometimes, it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it. Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant and they bring you bread and water or chips and salsa and all those really good things, that's included in your meal. Okay, so if you're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be a...
I'm freaked out with water. I can get like 5, 6, 7 cups of free water. I love water.
It might be something like that.
And especially when it's hot and here water always with ice. Love it.
So don't be like
And they can give you free lemon too. I love it.
shocked when like, wait, I didn't order
Water
this
with
bread.
lemon.
I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal, okay? Now the thing is though, you can't just go in and get chips and salsa and walk out, all right? You actually have to order some food when you go there. Now my next don't for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the U.S. If you're smoking cigarettes in the U.S., people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby. Cigarettes is like totally verboten. Like people really frown upon it, which is funny because when they talk about
Not in
marijuana and
life.
stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much. But cigarettes, oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So if you do smoke, make sure you try to find a place where you can smoke, because a lot of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that, have smoke-free. It's smoke-free. So you got to go like 15 to 20 feet away from doing things.
Wow.
So that can be something. So I've come here.
Yeah, I noticed here that all of restaurants and hotels, like with sign that you can't smoke here. But it's like not unusual.
Outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't. And that is, don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21, or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over in the U.S. They will not sell them to you. And the thing is,
it's cool.
don't forget your ID, because if you look like you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get mad at them, because if they don't ask, they could get in trouble and get fined. So don't be surprised, because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad. And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy liquor, or they want to buy alcohol, or they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one. Oh, that's also another don't I have for you is, don't bother with a metric system when you come here. We don't use we don't use meters, we don't use kilometers, we don't use liters.
It's so hard to learn it. Yeah, it's really hard. Like, I probably can, like with miles, we have kilometers. It's almost double kilometers. I mean, like 50 miles, it's 100 kilometers. With pounds, it's another way, like 40 kilograms, it's almost 80 pounds. And with feet, like height, my height, it's here like delete on 3, like I am 165 centimeters, and it's 5 and 5 foot. And yeah, just the most difficult part for me is weather, Fahrenheit. Oh, hate it, guys.
Inches, feet, miles, gallons, pounds, things like that. And I'll put a conversion chart here to
foot, 30 centimeters, like I told you. 1 mile, 1.5 almost kilometers. Okay. 1 pound, it's half of kilogram. Okay, I told you. I don't know, what is it? 12 ounces? 355 milligrams. 1 gallon, 378 liters. I didn't know about it. 1 yard, 1 meter almost. Okay.
Show you, but honestly, you may say, hey, how far is it to this next town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that? Just know 60 miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that, because the people here won't get it. I mean, I have people, when I'll tell them, oh, it's 100 meters away, they're like, 100 meters? It's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial system, okay? Because metric, we don't do that so much here. So our next don't is, when you do come to the U.S., there's a couple things you don't talk about, okay? 1 is gun control, and 2 is politics, because no matter where you are, you will get people on either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you.
All Americans hate their president. It's so funny, because Americans can choose president every 4 years. We can't choose president. We can't change it. We was born with it, and we will die with it, with the same president. Why you guys hate your president? You choose it. Chose. It's so weird for me. So weird. I can't handle it.
So it's best just to lay off those topics, talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nicer if it was sunny today and we could go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control or politics.
People
just putting that one out there for you right now.
Weather. I don't
Now,
care
my
about
next
gun
note for you
control.
is
Never
don't assume
said
that
about it.
all the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of
I'm
different.
doing it. I can say you typical American. I have a couple of girlfriends. They're very animated. They're always like this. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Oh my gosh. Really? Ah! And then I will say, oh, you're a typical American.
Topography and scenery and stuff like that.
Grand
And when
Canyon,
you
I've
come
been
here,
there.
don't assume it's all the same. You will see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other and how everything looks, all kinds of stuff. So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America too, not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff. There are those. So don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there
Oh,
versus
wow.
going to the northwest and,
Looks
and
nice.
Seattle and Portland or going to San Francisco or going to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to have a very different feel, which is really a cool thing to do. And you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different
Yeah, it's
cultures within it, and a
really-
lot of different feelings when you go around here. And
I really like people from Chicago. They're very nice people, very kindness. I love them. Really, really, really love them. I've never been in Milwaukee. I tried to go there, but I was tired. My girlfriend was tired, and we were like, oh, okay, let's do another time. But yeah, Chicago people, I love them. New York people, I love too because it's very straight. It's very good for me because I grown up with it when people not like oh like in Los Angeles because of weather and I don't know. I think yeah because of weather because of weed people high here always like oh and yeah I like so hard.
And following on with that, I guess I would say another don't is don't assume there's no culture in the U.S. because there are a lot of cultural centers out there. If you go down to New Orleans, you see a very rich culture there. You
wanna
go to
go
New
to
York
New
or
Orleans.
Boston, here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. In the Midwest with Chicago, Milwaukee, you go to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. Historic culture with the Native Americans or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here you can really take in. And saying there's no culture in the U.S., it's not really true because there are all these different cultural centers with great museums like the Art Institute of Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing beautiful landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of go,
Yeah, I love in America that it's so different everywhere, and I want to explore all America.
questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how's it going, how are you, these
Like
kind of things
hi.
in the U.S., it's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi. Okay, just take it as a hi, because a lot of people say this. Everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, "Well, I was just saying how are you." Here, how are you is just hi. Think of it that way. It's like in
Why people always ask me how are you doing and never listen me? Maybe I'm bad.
France. Ça va? Ça va. How's it going? How's it going? We're good to go. In Portuguese, tudo bem, everything good. You answer back, tudo bem, everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you? You move on, okay? So don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no, 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 no. For some reason in the U.S., it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast. So don't feel like you have to stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So stay at the hotels in the U.S., and the cheaper ones will give you free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, all these
I
kind of
usually stay in
things, which is
cheap
really
hotels.
nice, so don't expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England. We're here in Connecticut. We've been having lobster and clams and oh my God, New England clam chowder. Oh, my tummy is just like more, more. It's fantastic. When I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue. Oh my God. The food in the different regions in the U.S. are great. So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey, what's some local restaurants around here? What's some locally owned and operated restaurants, so you can go there and check out those places, because they really give you a great experience. And I find a lot of times those ones actually have better service than the chain restaurants, because it's a mom and pop place where the owner is the ones helping you out, and that is really kind of a cool thing. Now my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look.
I'm sick always of food
is
here.
insanely expensive, and just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill. All right, so if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance, so in case you do get sick, or you do break an ankle, or you do break an arm, or something happens.
Because previous time when I've been here like tourist, I was sick. It was like after 2 weeks here. Oh my gosh, I was very, 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 very bad. I really needed to go to hospital. I didn't, because I knew that it's very expensive. I had disease with my stomach, with my head. How's it called? I forgot. Like when you, I forgot how's it called. You're not wake up anymore. You're like this. I've done it 3 times in a day. I had headache. I had panic. I thought someone will kill me. I was pukey. I didn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I was with shiver all day. It was very, very bad. I really needed to go to the hospital, but I couldn't. It is what it is. It's true. And it's because of
your
food.
insurance will cover it. Now you might have to pay it first, and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back, because healthcare here in the U.S. is insanely expensive. Okay, so make sure you're prepared for that. And I guess my last don't I'm going to have for you is one that.
And I didn't go because I have my best girlfriend. She lived here 3 years, and before she came back to Russia, she had disease, something like headache or something. Her very, very kindest friends, they took her to the hospital. She was without, she like asleep, and she doesn't know what they're doing right now. And they took her to the hospital. She didn't have her insurance, and she had to pay like 10,000 just for a day in hospital. It wasn't like the same like what was with me. With me it was worst. But yeah, and she came out from United States, and she still has this 10,000. Maybe she paid it, I don't know. But yeah, 10,000. It was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Just imagine, it's incredible. Oh my gosh.
People actually got
That's
mad
why
at me
I
before
didn't
when I
go
lived
to
in
the
other countries,
hospital
when I told
because
them
of this
the
story.
U.S. has 50 states.
I was like, no.
They said, no, the U.S. has 52 states. Look, don't think the U.S. has 52 states. The U.S. has 50 states, okay? Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to be commenting down below that when I was in school, they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50.
Oh,
right?
yay.
So,
I wanna
those are
go to
our
Alaska and
don'ts for
Hawaii.
visiting the U.S.
So bad.
What are some of the don'ts you have for the U.S.? Because I know there's more out there. I just want to get some of these out there to help out travelers heading to the U.S., just so we can get things going. Anyway, if you like videos like this, we have stuff on what the don'ts of going to Russia, the don'ts of going to Germany, the don'ts of going to Brazil and things like that. And we really like helping travelers with honest travel advice.
So good,
So
guy.
if you
I
like
love
this video,
this video.
do click that subscribe button. It means a lot to us, and we put new travel videos out every Wednesday and Saturday to help great travelers just like you. So I'll say bye from Connecticut, and have a great time in the U.S.
Bye
Because don't worry,
bye.
you will.
Very
It's a
good,
fantastic
guys.
place.
Yeah, I have an idea when I will be back in Russia. Maybe your guys interested in me doing the same video in Russia. Like, don't think this, don't do this when you're like tourist in Russia. Maybe you need it, and I will do it. Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much, guys, for being with me this time. I hope you enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed it. And thank you so much. Don't forget about like, subscribe, and support me at Patreon. It was me, Carrie. Love you, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.